What if I told you your entire home network is secretly sharing one public IP address right now? Without NAT and PAT, only one device could access the internet at a time. But here's the problem. Most people don't understand how this magic works. In this video, I'll break down static NAT, dynamic NAT, and PAT overload with real-world examples that finally make sense. Stick around, because by the end, you'll never look at your router the same way again. NAT summary. If we don't do any network address or port translation, we wouldn't be able to access the internet from our home PC. Or only one person per internet box could access it. In the 80s, there was what is called the internet boom. With only 4.3 billion IPv4 addresses, a solution had to be found to overcome this shortage. That's how NAT and PAT were born, while waiting for the migration to IPv6. NAT is a protocol that allows the source IP address of a packet to be changed to another IP address. So, even if IPv6 is currently being deployed, IPv4 addressing is still the most widely used in the world. All companies, and even our internet boxes, use NAT. Remember our public IP classes. They are managed by Ayanna and Will. From 0 to 127 for Class A, from 128 to 191 for Class B, and from 192 to 223 for Class C. Class E is reserved, and Class D is for multicast. Well, the solution was to extract some of these public addresses for the reserves in private address. NAT allows multiple devices that are in the same private network to use a single public IP address. Let's look at an example to quickly understand how it works. On the left, we have a PC that carries the IP 192.168.0.1. This PC is connected to an internet box, and it will try to reach Google as DNS by making an ICMP request, i.e., a ping. The PC therefore sends the packet to the router with Google's DNS as its destination and its own IP address as a source. As the IP of the PC is part of a private address, therefore not routable on the internet, the box will modify it and put its own public address on it. So, it will do what is called an IP translation. This way, the package will arrive safely at its destination, and for the return path, the router will hand over the IP of the PC so that it can receive the response from Google's DNS. The IP address of the PC will never be seen from the outside world. There are 3 NAT types: static NAT, dynamic NAT, and the NAT overlay, which is nicknamed PAT. We will now see the configuration of these 3 types of NAT. First of all, the first thing to do when setting up NAT, whatever the type, is to tell the router where the private network is located and where the public network is located. In our example, we'll tag the 0 interface as being inside our network, i.e., private, with the command ipnat inside, and the 01 interface as the network outside, i.e., public, with the command ipnat outside. Static NAT allows you to translate a private IP address into one public IP address. In static, it's 1-to-1. Here's an example of how to set it up. Here, each private IP address has its own public address reserved for it to exit to the WAN, or to surf the internet. The command ipnat inside source static is used, followed by the private IP and the public IP. In dynamic NAT, you must first create an access list of PCs or network, authorized to be translated. Then we will declare the public IP address range that can be used randomly with the ipnatpool command. And finally, all that's left to do is associate our access list, which contains private IPs, with the public address pool. Each PC that wants to go to the internet will borrow a public address from the pool that has been configured. Now let's move on to the PAT. PAT allows multiple private IP addresses to be matched to a single public address. For this, the router will use port numbers. In its configuration, the private network must be assigned to an access list, and tell him to translate this network with the IP of his interface on the WAN side without forgetting the word overload at the end of the order. All internet boxes work in PAT. The PCs, tablet, and smartphone that we have in our home network use the same public IP address of the box.